Is this on? I'm assuming this is on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention towards the front. I'd like to welcome Deacon Jim Vargas, President and CEO of Father Joe Villages.
Thank you so very much. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here with you this morning. Look at what we have behind us. Is this not gorgeous, this building? St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa. It's a community of hope. We've said that time and time again. Hope lives here. I have to share with you, before I start my remarks actually, that I've been humbled, especially this week, as I spent more and more time here providing some tours. It's given me the opportunity to meet with some of the residents as they've been moving in. And it's been quite a humbling experience. I don't mind telling you, it's brought me to tears actually, some of these conversations that I've had. Such moving conversations, people who have been on the streets for such an extended period of time, and now they look elated because they have a place of their own, something that they haven't had for many, many years. And you've made it happen, and so that's why I'm glad you're here to celebrate this day with me today. And of course, this is just the beginning. We need so much more of this. I was speaking to Mayor Gloria a few minutes ago, as well as Supervisor Fletcher. And just mentioned that we need a lot more of this. And of course, they agreed, and they're working very heavily to be able to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to start with that. With thousands of our neighbors living outside and in shelters as well, without homes of their own, these 407 units of affordable housing that St. Teresa of Calcutta provides in the community are more important than ever. As a result of the hard work that countless organizations and individuals, many of whom are present today, we are able to prevent and end the homelessness of over 500 individuals. Before we actually begin our program, it's important to acknowledge the recent tragedy that occurred at this site a few weeks ago. Eddie Cañero, a subcontractor, lost his life on this property. Let's take a moment of silence to recognize this loss and express our condolences to his loved ones and all those whose lives he touched. Heavenly Father, in whom mercy and compassion are infinite, we pray that you welcome Eddie into the light of your heavenly kingdom. May he experience eternal rest, and his family and loved ones know your comfort and peace. Amen. Now I'd like to share some thank yous. First, I thank our funders for making this dream possible. This building is a miracle of collaboration, funded by an incredible mix of public and private investments, many of whom have representatives here today. Specifically, I want to thank and extend our welcome to Philanthropist Terry Castor and his family, who chose to have the building named for St. Teresa of Calcutta. California State Treasurer Fiona Ma, City of San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, Chair of the County of San Diego Board of Supervisors Nathan Fletcher, Monica Hernandez, Deputy of Communications for the California Department of Housing and Community Development, David Estrella, Director of the County of San Diego Housing and Community Development Services, Rick Gentry, CEO of the San Diego Commission, that's the San Diego Housing Commission, Kevin Kilbane, Managing Director, West Coast Acquisitions with Raymond James Financial, Sonia Ram, Director of City Community Capital, U.S. Bank, Union Bank, Century Homes, and the Home Investment Partnerships grant funds provided to the City of San Diego by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and administered by the San Diego Housing Commission. I also want to acknowledge that Assemblymember Chris Ward wanted to join today but was unable. Thank you to District Director Arsenio Estrella for joining us today on his behalf. Additionally, this project would not have been possible without our development partner and their steadfast commitment to financing and designing St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa. to Jim Schmidt, Sherry Hoffman, and the entire team at Chelsea Investment Corporation, on behalf of our boards of directors, staff, and most importantly, the men, women, and families who will live here, I offer you our heartfelt thanks. In particular, we would also like to thank Jody Rothery, who spent countless hours on this project, ensuring its success. She was the quarterback and brought it all together. I also want to extend a special thank you to all of those who contributed to the thoughtful and special design, planning, and construction of this building, including Level 10 Construction, Joseph Wong Design Associates, Emerson Construction, designer Juan Lee, and all of the many subcontractors who worked on this building. I share my appreciation with our board of directors for taking a chance on this innovative project. Many of you are here today, including our two board chairs, Rob Irving and Eric Casasa, and Jamie Centenary, the chair of our Properties Committee. Thank you for having the vision and persistence to push this endeavor forward, especially Jamie, who championed the use of this lot for this purpose for many years. Thank you to our Hope Lives Here campaign chairs, Ed and Ann Witt, and all of the generous supporters who supported the mission of Father Joe's Villages by naming various spaces within the building, including Joan and Erwin Jacobs, the Epstein family, the Martin family, Claire Reese, Kevin and Andrea Harkenreiter, Bob Killian, and Joanne Lane, among many others. Furthermore, we are at this beautiful building today due to the hours and hours of dedication and hard work of many of our staff at Father Joe's Villages. Brendan Coffey, Anna Zimbrick, Ann Wisorczyk, Ruth Bruland, Jesse Caseman, Kay Raffanen, and all of their teams. Finally, I extend a very special thank you to Bill Bolstad, Chief Strategy Officer, for his leadership and his countless hours that he dedicated to making Father Joe's Villages, turning the Key initiative, a reality. With St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa, we have redefined supportive, affordable housing. Every square foot of this building is dedicated to strengthening the success of its residents. Residents will have access to the full range of services offered on our East Village campus, just blocks away, including childcare, employment, services, our Village Health Center, and more, which help them prosper and retain their housing for good. There are multi-purpose spaces on every floor dedicated to building a sense of community. There are numerous outdoor gardens and terraces, including a children's playground and produce garden, that are dedicated to encouraging positive mental health and fresh air. The apartments are tastefully designed with dignity and utility, a space that our residents will be able to love and enjoy for years to come. The building is certified LEED Gold, ensuring that it will not only provide homes for hundreds of individuals and families, but it will do so in an environmentally friendly way. There is even a gym to foster health and wellness for our residents and staff. Even the lobby is designed to welcome all residents and visitors and recognize the building's namesake, St. Teresa of Calcutta. Finally, the Father Joe Carroll Memorial Promenade. The statues and landscaping you see before you beautifies the East Village community and recognizes the incredible legacy of our founder, Father Joe Carroll. Father, may you rest in peace, knowing that more than 500 people will now have a home that they can call their own, a place where hope can live. Now I want to invite my incredible friend and philanthropist, Terry Castor, who generously donated $10 million to make this community a reality. Terry, please join me.
I'd rather be somewhere else. This is a dream that only big people can dream about. Father Joe Carroll, and he can dream pretty big. Another guy, Deacon, there he goes. Deacon Jim Vargas, he carried out that dream. And then they had a partner named Mother Teresa that thought just like them. And nothing I think they ever thought of, or I ever thought of, could answer all the things that have been answered in this building. Can you imagine for a moment being homeless somewhere and to walk into this place, you think you died and went to heaven? I think it says everything. The building says everything as you walk through it. I never fathomed that it would turn out this nice. I mean, I couldn't dream this big. It turned out that good. So, you know, Father Joe, God bless you, Deacon, your team, everybody that worked on this project, we're excited about it. And God willing, you're going to have many more of these projects. And obviously, you've done a pretty good job with 2,000 units here in town now. So I think Mother Teresa is very ecstatic about it, because that's her whole vision was around. We got to work with Mother Teresa for about 15 years and travel with her. And yeah, this is something you've never seen before, yeah. So God bless you, Jim, and your team, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Terry. God bless you.
And now, if we could please invite to the podium, California State Treasurer Fiona Ma.
Thank you very much, and it's great to be down here in sunny, beautiful San Diego. Thank you, Jim Schmidt, the Chelsea Corporation, for including me and inviting me. As your state treasurer, I oversee the tax credits and the bonds that went into building this project and others around the state. And I also sit on the Cal HFA board. And I know that we, on behalf of my state agencies, we are very honored to be part of this amazing, innovative, historic type of project. I want to thank the voters back in 2016 for voting for the No Place Like Home initiative. That's a $2 billion bond that is going to build housing for those who are homeless or formerly homeless or at the verge of being homeless. My office has overseen that program, and we've issued about $1.6 billion for such projects like this. And it takes a village, right? Mother Teresa, Father Joe. In San Francisco, we had an amazing individual, Brother Kelly Calkin of the Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation. And these individuals are the ones that keep us grounded on what we need to make sure that those who are less fortunate are taken care of every single day. And so I thank everyone, Rick Gentry, and others, and, my former colleague, your president of the Board of Supervisors, Nathan Fletcher, and also a fellow assembly member, and now your mayor, Todd Gloria. We all went to the state, served at the state level, and these gentlemen are back serving their local communities and being the leaders that they are. So congratulations, San Diego. Thank you all for being here, and hope does live here. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Treasurer Ma, for taking the trip down to San Diego. Fiona knows and loves San Diego, and I just appreciate her leadership, particularly on the issue of housing. You know, our state treasurer doesn't have to spend her time working on housing issues, but this one does, and you see the results of it right behind us. I'm going to be brief, one, because it's unfair to have the speakers in the shade and the audience in the sun. Number two, because there's a whole lot more speakers still left to come. And probably three, and most importantly, is I'm impatient when it comes to driving change on the issue of homelessness. The issue is too big, and we don't have enough time to talk about it. We have to do more about it. But I'll take that applause. Thank you. All right. I'm glad you agree. It's evident. We need more days like this. We need more projects like this. And as you heard Deacon Jim, whose leadership of this organization is incredible. Deacon Jim, thank you for being in this fight with me. It takes a lot of folks to build projects like this. It takes a village to build a village like this one. But the good news right now is that we have help all around us. We have a group of leaders that are willing to drive change. County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. You see the county stepping up in ways they never have before to drive change on homelessness. State leaders like Fiona Ma, Governor Gavin Newsom, and our own State Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins. People who are in positions of key leadership who are using those positions to help send us the resources to build projects like this one. Folks from the private sector, Jim Schmid and Chelsea Investments, always involved in incredible projects. I can list, I don't know, Jim, how many projects have we done together? So many, but all of them are contributing solutions to this problem. Not a lot of hot air. You hear a lot of people talking and tweeting about homelessness. Few people are actually building the roofs that end homelessness. Jim is one of the folks that do that. Our team at the San Diego Housing Commission, absolutely. Rick Gentry and all of our Housing Commission employees. You know, our city employees are deeply involved in driving change on homelessness, and Rick is at the front end of that. Hafsa Keika, the city's first ever chief of homeless services and solutions, and her team. These are folks that share my desire to see a different kind of San Diego, one where we don't accept thousands of people living on our sidewalk. And lastly, and for a lot of the folks who are here, the philanthropic community. The community pillars, the folks who lead, and time and again, whether it's for our arts and culture efforts, for our youth learning efforts, for our workforce development efforts, and increasingly in the homeless space. I thank you for being a part of solutions and driving change and sharing my impatience for this issue. And I'll simply end with this, because again, we got work to do, right? You all drove off that freeway. You saw what we're dealing with. It is unacceptable. It is not right to leave folks on the streets in a country, in a state, and in a city as wealthy as ours. And the question is, are we going to do something about it? I will tell you that we have a city council that are my partners in actually getting this done. Council President Ela Rivera, Councilmember LaCava, who are here, who just on Tuesday voted on a vast array of housing reforms to make sure that projects like this one get built faster and increase the amount of supply that are out there. Gentlemen, thank you for your help and your partnership and your leadership. Would you applaud them? Because this is not easy votes. These are difficult votes, guys, but they see the challenge and they're willing to take action. Here's what I'll say. Housing ends homelessness. I'm often asked, how can we solve this problem? This is how we solve this problem. And I'll tell you, with 407 units here, this is a huge chunk of the problem, but we need about 16 to 20 more of these across our county if we want to truly solve this problem. I'm game. I know the county's game. I know the state is game. I know our nonprofit partners are ready. I know our philanthropic community is here. We need to ask every neighborhood to step up, do their part. Let's get this done. It is not humane to live people living on our sidewalks, in our canyons, on our beaches. Are you with me and agreeing on that? We have some cameras that are here, everybody. Are you with me? Is it not humane to live people on our sidewalks? Let's carry that message to every neighborhood, every city, every part of this county. I believe that we can end chronic homelessness in San Diego. If you're with me, join me in being impatient about driving change on homelessness. Let's build more housing. Let's get more Deacon Jims, more Fiona Ma's, more Nathan Fletchers. Let's get this job done. There is no other choice than to house these folks. We got to do it. Thank you all very much for being here today.
Please welcome to the podium Chair Nathan Fletcher of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. You know, I had a moment with Bishop Dolan at the beginning, and we were talking about, you know, we're in a period of great difficulty right now as a society, as a country. And every day, you know, you decide to be defined or have your day or your mood or your attitude defined by the divisiveness, by the hostility, or you can choose to identify and recognize the good that exists. And I choose every day to look for that opportunity. And what reinforces the ability to do that every single day is events like today. Events like today where it may be named after a miracle maker, but it is not a miracle that your city, your county, your state, our incredibly generous philanthropist partners, our incredible nonprofit partners, our development partners, all came together to say, we're going to do better. We can do better. We can get this done. And it is this spirit that we have today that culminates in a ribbon cutting. But immediately after this, the mayor and I are going back into another meeting to talk about how do we plant more seeds for more opportunities like this. Because when you look at the condition on your streets, it's wrong. It's inhumane. The root cause of it remains poverty, and we have to tackle that root cause of poverty in our society. People who don't make enough money, housing that costs too much. But we, in the meantime, have got to address the condition on the streets, and we've got to come together and drive solutions to find a way to make progress around what we're doing. Now, everything you do will be controversial. Everything you do will have opposition. But we have to fight through that opposition. We have to fight through that controversy, and we have to come together like we are here to say this voice will be louder. The voice of progress, of getting things done, will drown out and be louder than the folks who will oppose anything you ever do. And I will tell you, if you like this project, in March, county, we got 3 more properties, surplus county properties coming online. So if you're out there and you were a part of this and you want to do more, let's be a part of that. And let us never lose sight. Again, you have a choice every day to look at the outliers, the divisiveness, the hostility, and have that define you, or look at all of you who brought your compassion and your pocketbook and your commitment and your hard work to say we're going to do right. And that is what we are doing today. And I want to thank my county team who's here. The county is doing more than we have ever done. But it's not enough. We got to do more. And we got to do it faster. I want to thank my incredible partner in the city. The mayor and I talk every single day, multiple times a day, almost always exclusively around this issue. The partners at the council who enabled the mayor to do this. Member Elo Rivera, the president, the other members, LaCava, but it's also the other cities. We were just this morning with Councilmember Goebel from El Cajon talking about what we can do there and other areas. Our philanthropists who contributed here are incredible partners. What Deacon Vargas and Father Joe's represents to San Diego is vital and important. Chelsea and everyone who designed it. And so I just want to say there is no greater outcome than seeing this and seeing the lives transformed. But we know that we have to do more, and we will do more, and we will continue to push. But please, thank you everyone who's here and is a part of this and what we're doing, and let's continue to see progress and let's continue to move forward. Thank you all.
Please welcome to the podium Monica Hernandez, Deputy of Communication for the California Department of Housing.
Good morning. I was told I had 15 minutes, so get your sunblock. Thank you for inviting us to be here today. On behalf of the Newsom administration, I would like to add my congratulations and thanks to Father Joe's Villages and to the team who put this incredible project together. These have been challenging times for everybody. But in spite of the pandemic, and because of the incredible commitment of Governor Gavin Newsom, billions of dollars have been poured in to create real viable solutions for the unhoused and housing crisis. These dollars give us more opportunity to collaborate to end homelessness for good. It's a tremendous investment of the state's budget to really create a better future for all Californians. But you don't really see those results until you're here today in front of this incredible building. HCD, Housing and Community Development, my department, we are thrilled to partner on this, and we provided through 4 funding streams that I want to tell you just a little bit about. $53 million, which we know was only part of the tremendous donations that came from the community, residents, and other partners. I want to call out one program in particular, the Veterans Housing and Homelessness Prevention Program, which supports 80 units dedicated to helping veterans thrive and flourish. We know that veteran status is a clear indicator and a higher propensity of homeless residents in our community, and we want to take care of our heroes. A fundamental part of HCD's mission is to ensure that households have a secure roof over their head, but that's simply not enough. We need to find safe communities where everyone can thrive and families have a place to care for themselves. We must also ensure that there's access to amenities, open space, services, transportation, and this place is a model for the rest of the state. This project accomplishes that and so much more. Many hours and many people collaborated to bring us here today. And that actually brings me to the words of Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world. but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. So thank you all who made those ripples. I want to thank you, Treasurer Ma. Thank you, Mayor Gloria, for being incredible allies to the state to bring these projects to fruition. And I want to wish every resident here and the future residents all our best. Thank you again on behalf of the administration. Congratulations and welcome home.
Please welcome to the podium David Estrella, Director of the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations on this wonderful event. On behalf of Helen Robbins-Meyer, our Chief Administrative Officer for the county, and Nick Mascione, Director of the Health and Human Services Agency, we'd like to especially thank all of you here, the development partners, and especially our Board of Supervisors, starting with our Chair, Nathan Fletcher, and the entire board, for all of their efforts supporting affordable housing. You know, as individuals, each of us is called to do two things. Two. One of those is to show love to each other, to our neighbor. This is how we show love. This is how we take care of each other. I'd like to tell you that the county's efforts, this is an example of those county efforts, are multifaceted. One of those is the $70 million Innovative Housing Trust Fund that is spread across 20 communities, developments that are providing affordable housing. As the supervisor mentioned, the county is also making available excess county land that's being developed for many, many types of affordable housing, permanent supportive housing, veterans housing, senior housing. The county is making available project-based vouchers. The county is making available all the resources in our arsenal to make this possible across the region. I want to make sure to thank Dr. Luke Bergman, Dr. Piedad Garcia, and Jason Miller at Behavioral Health Services. I'd like to thank the HCDS team, Kelly and Tina and Felipe. I'd like to thank the working families that built this building. I'd like to thank the people that will live here. And I'd like to thank each of you for your efforts. This will make us all successful, and that's when we, as a community, come together and show each other love. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium Rick Gentry, President of the San Diego Housing Commission.
Thank you and good morning. You know, the 407 units in this property represent a miracle, indeed. But miracles can have practical applications too. So let me talk about just a few numbers that make up this miracle. $115 million in multifamily housing revenue bonds issued by the city under the leadership of Council President Shawnilo Rivera, which is the major part of the funding that went into this program. In addition to the numbers that you heard from previous speakers, another $9 million from the City of San Diego's Affordable Housing Fund, and $2.5 million awarded by the Housing Commission from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development funding went to this property as well to do the gap financing to make it all come together. Piggybacked onto that is 270 vouchers, which will help to do the extra subsidies for the homeless folks, formerly homeless folks who will be living in this property. So you've got a lot of sources of money coming in to make this miracle work. And the money is what makes it work on a practical standpoint. And for that, we have the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, our federal friends to thank for the housing programs that we could not do without. Our state friends as well, both at HCD and Fiona, your office, and the governor's office as well as the cities, Sean, and the others to make this come together, and the mayor's office that really pulls this all together as well. The Housing Commission is grateful to perform as part of its role, and I'd like to thank two sets of folks in particular, both the Housing Authority, which is the City Council, and the Housing Commission, led by our chair, Stephanie Benvenuto, as well as Lisa Jones and Emily Jacobs are here somewhere, the staff from the Housing Commission. Who like to do the work that I talk about all the time. Good, thank you all very much. In closing, just a word of transition on this site as well. As many of you know, this was the site of one of the transition shelters. And now we've replaced a tent with what is a signature property for the city of San Diego. A worthy miracle. Thank you all.
Please welcome to the podium Sonia Ram, Director at City Community Capital.
Good morning. As mentioned, I'm Sonia Ram with City Community Capital, and I'm so excited to be here celebrating the grand opening of this landmark project with each of you. City is proud to be the construction and perm lender on Santa Teresa. The sun is certainly shining bright, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Our history with Chelsea is lengthy, financing 3 dozen affordable housing projects, and I'm super grateful to the Chelsea team for introducing us to Father Joe's Village to collaborate with them and each of the participants to bring this project to fruition. Downtown San Diego is so fortunate to have 2 such high caliber sponsors, Chelsea, who's built over 12,000 units, and Father Joe, who's so rooted in the community, supporting those most in need. Chelsea and Father Joe successfully obtained financing from way too many sources to list, which is why they have a long list here. But we at City are just truly proud to partner with each of those institutions and look forward to future partnerships such as this. What folks probably realize is that, the financing of this is quite complicated, but folks who aren't on the day-to-day don't see what a closing looks like for a project like this. And there are so many players, and each player has a legal counsel, and there are endless calls, and sometimes things don't go quite right, and things have to be put back together. But frankly, on this project, it was incredible. Despite the complexity of the project, despite the size, this project closed smoothly. On New Year's Eve, but smoothly. And it's a true testament just to the leadership of both institutions and everybody involved, and the mission, and everybody just really being behind this project. And then there's the actual construction of a project of this scope. And COVID. There were so many opportunities for this project to go astray. And I will say, as someone who finances numerous projects, I had a lot of projects that had significant delays, cost overruns, problems relating to COVID, supply chain, whatnot, building safety checks, you name it. This project persevered, despite all of that, completed on time and on budget. And look how gorgeous it is. It's incredible. So yeah, just a true testament. Chelsea and Father Joe Village have partnered many times before, and it's very clear their determination, their persistence, the strong, diverse team. And I can't think of a more critical time that we need these units online than right now. So a special thanks to everybody on the leadership front, Jim, Deacon Jim, Sherry, Charles, Bill, and Jody. Jody, amazing. And from the Citibank side, there were a lot of people involved, but I wanted to thank my colleague, Hao Lee, who did a lot of the heavy lifting on this project. And City is just really honored to be partnering to build this project to fruition. And so at the end of the day, I will just say, I can't believe I do this for a living. This is truly just the best part of the job. This project, the impact it has on the local community, working with 2 inspiring organizations and all those other partners in this project. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. Thank you to each person who has had a hand in bringing this project to fruition. And thank you for allowing City to be a part of the solution of ending homelessness here in San Diego. And finally, and most importantly to the residents, we do it all for you. Congratulations on your new home.
Please welcome to the podium Kevin Kilbane, Vice President and Managing Director of Acquisitions for Raymond James Affordable Housing Investments.
Thanks for the introduction. As indicated, I head up the West Coast acquisitions for Raymond James, formerly Raymond James Tax Credit Funds. Now we just rebranded to Raymond James Affordable Housing Investments. We've been investing in tax credit properties since the inception of the program in '86. Our investment was about $60 million in this property in tax credit equity. I think it's the third project we've done with Chelsea that eclipsed the $50 million mark. But I'm kind of a geek in looking at numbers too. Well, I'll be with you, Rick. 2 partnerships, 407 units split between permanent supportive housing, general low income, and veterans. About $200 million in total development costs, 14 sources of financing, high-rise construction, infill, and oh, by the way, starting construction in the heart of COVID. Kind of looked at the Father Joe folks and Chelsea folks and said, can you make it any more complex? So, but no, we love tackling projects like this, and truly it's a testament to the 2 organizations that led the charge here. Deacon Jim and your organization and Chelsea, just true exemplary organizations. I was trying to do the math today, I lose track, but I think we've partnered with Jim Sherry and his crew on about 20 tax credit properties in California, close to $400 million in equity. Certainly, they always do what they say they're going to do, always operate with the utmost amount of integrity, build high-quality housing, and really care about the communities and residents that they're involved in. So we look forward to more partnerships, but thank you for letting us your vote of confidence in Raymond James as your partner on this project. And the introduction to Father Joe's. I had the pleasure of taking the tour of the villages a couple times because it's not, you don't get credit committee approval right away on $60 million. And really what struck me is that they said it takes a village, no pun intended, but it's not just the housing, permanent, supportive, and transitional. It's really the myriad of services that you guys provide. And at the end of the day, the collaborative effort between Chelsea and Father Joe's, along with a host of others, the end product is what you see back here, 407 units, high quality, safe, affordable housing with a necessary level of service to let tenants thrive. And that's the end result. These are types of projects that, we kind of all get hung up in closings and the details, but you take a step back and you kind of pinch yourself and say, this is what we enjoy about it. This is the end game. And these are the products that you like to be involved in. So thank you. We appreciate Raymond James being an opportunity. Clearly, we're one of a gazillion people on a sign. And it takes a really true collaborative effort between public and private partnerships to make this work. And we're just proud to be one piece of that puzzle. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few other folks. Ryan Holland on my team really led the charge on the closing side. Our investor partner was J.P. Morgan. They've been with us, obviously a very prolific investor in affordable housing, and they've backed us with, a handful of Chelsea projects. So they clearly see the vision behind this development. They could not be here today, but I wanted to definitely thank them. And then lastly, I would say Bill Bolstad and Jody. I know you guys, it's a yeoman's effort, but you guys really were the glue on leading the closing charges and dealing with all kinds of questions and calls and diligence follow-up and so forth. So thank you. And again, on behalf of Raymond James, we're proud to be a part of this and look forward to seeing this project flourish and seeing more in San Diego. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium Sherry Hoffman, President of Chelsea Investment Corporation.
Good morning. Great to be here today to share in this celebration On behalf of Chelsea, we are honored to partner with Father Joe's Villages, with Deacon Jim and his team to develop this incredible project that will so positively impact and transform the lives of so many and a tremendous asset to this community. Over the course of 20 years, Chelsea has proudly worked with Father Joe's Village to finance and develop affordable housing projects, and I have seen firsthand the incredible work and accomplishments of Father Joe's Villages. Not only do projects like St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa provide quality affordable housing to people who are experiencing or at risk of homelessness, but through the services and programs offered, but through the services and programs offered, restore dignity to the people living here and empower people to create and maintain stable living and build stable families. It's truly life-changing. The vision of this project was born several years by Deacon Jim and his team, and I'm proud of the Chelsea Development Team and the Emerson Construction Team. Way too many people to name, just a great collaborative effort, a great team, and a thanks to Level 10, our construction partner. And I want to thank Deacon Jim for your partnership. Thank you. We're just proud that we were part of making this vision become a reality. Financing for affordable housing has its challenges. I think as Kevin mentioned, it took nearly or over a dozen sources of financing that are utilized to make this project possible. Financing secured at the city level, county level, state level, truly a public-private partnership. We're very grateful to the many supporters and stakeholders represented by the speakers here today who have contributed to the success of this project, whose leadership has made the financial resources available to this project. We thank the Castor family for your generous donation. Thank you to Treasurer Ma for your leadership at TCAC and SIDLAC. Thank you, Mayor Todd Gloria, for your steadfast commitment to housing the homeless, and to Supervisor Fletcher and David Estrella and the wonderful staff at County HCD. And to the California Department of Housing and Community Development for the great work their staff does administering the multiple sources of financing. Thank you for being here today, Monica. And thank you to Rick Gentry and your terrific staff at the Housing Commission, always such a leader and so supportive. And we thank City Community Capital and our investor Raymond James for your financial partnership. This is truly a collaboration. We're so grateful to be part of it. And so I, together with my colleagues at Chelsea and Emerson, are just very proud to be part of the team. And we just thank you for being here today. And we're terrific building, very life-changing. Great to be part of it. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the podium, Deacon Jim Vargas.
You know, it's a wonderful day when we're able to provide homes for hundreds of individuals. And as I've mentioned, this will accommodate over 500 individuals. Can you believe it? Over 500 individuals. It's a wonderful day when we're able to restore dignity and hope. And that's exactly what happens here. I thank you each. Thank you. I thank you each who have attended today. I thank those who have spoken. I thank Council Member President Sean Elo Rivera, as well as Council Member Joe LaCava. They took time out of their schedules to be here with us because they know the importance of this, and so I thank them for being here with us as well. You know, we've thanked a lot of people, and I would obviously be remiss, especially in view of what's been said here, that we've remained on schedule and on budget despite COVID, despite everything. I would be remiss if I didn't give the glory to God, all right? And so I'm thankful to our Heavenly Father who's able to brought us to this day. And we have Bishop Dolan, who in a few moments will bless the building and these homes in which hundreds will reside so that they can prosper. Those of you who were with us at the groundbreaking a couple of years ago, you'll remember Bishop Dolan blessed the site when we broke the ground, all right? So he'll bless the home in a few minutes. But before I do that, it is my pleasure to welcome one final speaker, a very important speaker. I met Joseph a couple of months ago right here. I was standing here about to give another hard hat tour. I had given a number of them throughout the construction. And this young man came up with a young little girl. She must have been 6 or 7. And he looked elated, is what I noticed. And he asked me if I knew anything about this building, so I smiled, right? And I said I did, and I asked him why. And he said, and he was holding up a piece of paper, and he said, because my daughter and I just got approved to live here. That just made my day, all right? And, excuse me, so I took the daughter in because we had a rendering of the children's playground here in the lobby. And so I was excited to show her the playground and to see her eyes just light up when she saw the rendering of the playground, a playground in which she will be playing. And so Joseph and Abigail are here with us today. And so Joseph, I'm so glad that you consented to share some words with us. Come.
I remember that day. Well, let me start by saying God is so good. My daughter Abigail and I are not unique. Like many others, the last 24 months have been challenging. Like many others, we have experienced loss. Last spring, while adapting to these pandemic-related challenges and loss of loved ones, we were faced with very real and very personal housing crisis when given our rental property's intent to sell and a 45-day notice to vacate. Having a single fixed income and San Diego's average two-bedroom apartment rate of around, $3,700, and even then a limited housing supply, after 6 weeks of diligent effort, Abigail and I were homeless. With wartime service as a combat veteran, I was no stranger to challenges nor adversity. However, homelessness with my young daughter was by far the most difficult challenge I've ever had to face. I would spend most of my day wearing a mask of optimism and trying to camouflage the reality of our situation with the hope of providing my daughter with a healthy sense of security, making the best of an unfortunate situation. All the while in private, I felt ashamed, thinking to myself, I don't know if I see this getting any better. As a single father, living out of our car in cheap motels, I quickly learned 3 things. First, I have an awesome God and resilient daughter that I love and could not be more proud of. Second, shout out to Toyota. Let's go places. While a slogan in our FJ Cruiser, it was also a way of life. Last, I learned I couldn't change the beginning of this story, but with the help of many others, and many others here today, I could change how it ends. After 3 months rotating between motels and our Toyota's air mattress, we learned about Father Joe's Villages and St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa from 2 wonderful women. Monica at Monarch School for San Diego students impacted by homelessness, and Sharon Ferguson at Path San Diego, a frequent partner with Father Joe serving the needs of San Diego's downtown homeless population. After applying, I received the call that Abigail and I had been accepted into a 2-bedroom apartment at St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa. Proudly, I was able to give my daughter a Christmas gift like no other, a home, a permanent home. We moved into our home last month. Even though our Toyota brought us together literally and figuratively, Abigail and myself are both excited to have our own room, hers in pink and mine not in pink. After living off microwave meals for months, tonight is Throwback Thursday when we cook spaghetti and we throw a noodle on the wall to determine if our spaghetti is in fact done. Don't tell the leasing office. With St. Teresa of Calcutta Village, Father Joe's has changed our ending. We are so grateful to Father Joe's, past San Diego, Monarch School, and even across the border at Coronado Village, as they all collaborate to provide America's finest city and the surrounding area with affordable housing and the opportunity for many more endings to be changed. Thank you to all involved. You have allowed me to use this moment to be an inspiration to my daughter and also an example of success, offering tangible results to those that support Father Joe's efforts to change the endings of others and to make St. Teresa of Calcutta Villa San Diego's new community of hope. Thank you.
Thank you. Megan, huh? Thank you. God bless. Joseph, I think you said it best. Thank you. Thank you so much. And with that, Bishop Dolan?
Thank you, Jim. Deacon Jim, you have an amazing staff at Father Joe's Villages. And before we begin, let me just simply say, peace be with this home and all who live within it. You know, this began many years ago with Father Joe Carroll as he was scratching on the back of a napkin some plans to grow this. And he started with a $100,000 budget under the Diocese of San Diego. And we are now quickly approaching a $50 million budget. It's crazy. It's an amazing venture. But the truth is, all of this is made possible through the prayers and the hard work of so many people within Father Joe's Villages. Deacon Jim leading the pack, but there are so many others who are a part of this community, those who continue to serve our neighbors in need. I think Mayor Todd Gloria mentioned earlier, and many others had shared certain words, you know, hope and love and compassion. Mayor Todd mentioned the question that so many people ask. They ask, you know, how do we solve homelessness? And of course, that can be a very hard question, and there's probably no one way. It really does take a sort of a wraparound service, and that's why I think Father Joe's Villages offers that. But I'm often concerned, and I think the sentiments he offered, I think, ring true to us. There are many who don't even ask that question, how do we solve homelessness? They rather just sort of curse the darkness. They curse that reality of homelessness, and they just say, oh, San Diego. I'm always reminded of that famous line, it's better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. And you think of all of the people here who have been lighting candles through the efforts of the city and the county and the state and the church and Father Joe's Villages and the Philanthropist. Everyone participates in one way to light a candle to curse, rather than to curse the darkness. This is a great way. It's a perfect image of what we mean when we're called to dispel the darkness in the lives of our world. You are an example of that, each and every one of you here today. And so to that end, rather than cursing the darkness, we ask the Lord to send his blessing. Lord, be close to your servants who move into this home today and ask for your blessing. Be their shelter when they are at home, be their companion when they are away, and be their welcome guest when they return. And at last receive them and all of us into that dwelling place you have prepared for us in your Father's house, where you live and reign forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen. And so make the Lord as a light illumine and guide you today and always, dispelling the darkness in other people's lives by lighting the candle that you are. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. A fitting conclusion to our program, but it doesn't end here. I hope you'll join me upstairs on the third floor, one of our beautiful gardens. We have some delectables for you, and so I hope you can enjoy them with us. And we also have tours also that we're offering. You'll get to see the various places as far as some of the units as well, so I hope you have the opportunity to do that. Again, God bless you.
And if we could please ask all speakers to please come over to the blue lit ribbon for a ribbon cutting ceremony.
By the way, we will be cutting the ribbon now, so if you give us a moment before you do head upstairs. Those who will be cutting the ribbon with me, please join me at the ribbon.
Rick, do you want me to move this?
Thank you.
Does it work out?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, Lisa's doing it for me. Lisa's representing the Housing Commission. Right down here. Too late, Jim.
Thank you for coming. This concludes this morning's ceremony.